Okay, students, the topic that we're going to start with is the security concept. As you know that if we talk about information security, so basically we must understand that what security is. Okay, so how we can define a particular security that we will discuss in this particular lecture, right? So we can start like this, like what if we these are the topics that we need to cover up in this particular class. So the first one is the security concept. Second one is that we have to include that security architecture, and we are including it like X dot 800. So X dot 800 is any type of version that we can start with. This is the one of the basic architecture that we will discuss. Third topic that we will need to discuss over here is that what are the different security attacks, what are the different services, and what are the different mechanisms by which we can secure our particular system, right? Last topic is what model we include for the network security. Now, before starting all this topic, I just need to tell you that regarding our subject, that is information security, we need to maintain, we need to secure our information from any type of a unauthorized access. Okay, so what we mean by unauthorized access, that we just wanted to save our information from any mishandling by any external source. So there could be a particular person, there could be a particular software, there could be a particular way or a method by which the third party may try to just degrade our information. So this is the basic concept of information security. But before starting with the actual concept, or before starting with the actual mechanism, we will start with that how we can include, that how we can, what are the different security features in our system that help us, that will tell us that how we can detect that what are the main loopholes in our system, right? So we can start like this. So the first thing is that we need to understand that what is a security concept. So whenever before this security concept, we need to define that what is a computer security. Okay, because whatever the information that we will talk about in this particular subject, that will be according to the computer system. Okay, so first of all, we must understand that what is a computer security and how information security can be incorporated in that particular computer, right? So we can start like this. So computer security is what? That is a protection afforded. So how we can define it? That is protection applied to an automated system. To an automated system. So why we require this computer system? Just to generate the automation system. So we have so many information systems, so many automation systems that works on a computer system, right? So what is the main agenda of this computer security? That we need to apply that protection to the automated system. So this is how we can attain. This is how we can just provide the protection to the automated information system. So why we require to maintain this automation system? To just maintain its integrity. We need to maintain its integrity, availability, and the confidentiality of the system. Confidentiality of the system. Or we can say that the various resources that is being applied to that particular information system. Fine. So before starting with the security concept, first of all, we must understand that we are applying this information security on the computer security. Okay. So whatever the information that we are talking about, that is related to the computer security. Now, what things are present in computer security that we need to maintain? or we need to say that what is basically information is present in the computer system that we need to maintain. So computer system is having different automated system with itself that we can utilize for any type of a purpose. Okay, so what we need to apply, we need to apply that protection applied to an automated system. So what type of a protection we need, what we need to maintain in that particular computer system, that is we need to maintain integrity, availability, and the confidentiality of that particular system or the resources. Now, if we talk about the computer security, we are talking about the different information systems. Now, these information systems are made up of different variety of resources. Like we are having hardware part also, we are having software part also. There are so many people that is involved in this information system. So we need to maintain each type of a data according to that particular information system. Clear? So what we want that before application of this computer security, what we want, we need to protect our particular automated system and its various resources. So what type of resources? That is hardware, software, people, and firmwares, everything. Plus, we need to maintain the integrity, availability, and the confidentiality. Now, these three terms are the main, we can say that main key points. These three terms we require in order when we say about security. So these are the main key features that we require. That is integrity, confidentiality, and its availability. So it will pose to you that we need to maintain all these three key things. So if we talk about the security concepts over here, so how we can define that security concepts? Like in this side, we have that confidentiality. This is your confidentiality. Here we are having that integrity. And the last one is the availability. Okay. So these are the three things that we need to maintain when we talk about a particular information security concept. Okay, the first one is the confidentiality, second one is the integrity, and the third one is the availability. So one by one, we will discuss each and everything that how we can, what are the different techniques to maintain the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, so these are the three basic terms, and what all on which particular part we need to apply this confidentiality, integrity, and availability. That is the data and the services. Okay, so in a particular information system, it comprises of two particular parts. One is your data, another one is your services. Okay, so what we do with the data, we do so many processing on that data that will give you a particular information, useful information that you can use in multiple ways. Okay. Secondly, what we want, that is the services that we need to allocate on that particular data. So this is how we can utilize all these things. That these are the different ways by which we can apply. We need to secure that particular information. Is it clear? So what we want. So this was about the security concepts or the key concepts. So whenever we talk about the term security, that we need in that particular case, what we require, that we require to maintain the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So on these three terms, whatever the content of the this particular part, that is information security, on these three particular features, our whole syllabus is dependent. So we will be discussing so many techniques, we will be discussing so many methods, we will be discussing so many algorithms that will be based on these three main key points. Okay, so that is confidentiality, integrity, and the availability. Right? Now we will start with that what level of impacts we have. So if we say that a system is not secure, okay, if we say that our system is not secure, then what type of impact that we can have on that particular system? So basically, we have defined our impact level into three parts. Okay, so we have defined our impact level into three parts. That is, we can define like this. That is levels of impact. So we have divided this level of impact from a security breaches. From security breaches. That means according to the security point, what are the different level of impact we have? So for that particular part, we have a low impact. Second is the moderate impact. And the third one is the high impact. Okay, low, moderate and high. Clear? So these are the three features that we require, that we have a low impact, moderate impact and the high impact. So these are three impact level we are having. So when we talk about the low impact, that means that loss could be expected to have a limited effect on the organization. So here it has limited effect Okay, students, you can hear me? So we can say that low impact will be having, that is limited effect on organizational operation, assets or individual. So when we talk about the low impact form, that means it will not show you, it will not force you the severe effect on your system. So these are such type of impact that can be ignored or that can be easily handled. Okay, so we can affect this particular part, that is a limited effect on organizational operations, assets or individuals. Secondly, that is a moderate impact. So this moderate impact will be having serious adverse effect. So that is serious adverse effect on organizational operations. Okay. So such type of impact, that is a moderate impact, is quite a serious one that we need to handle. Okay, so that may cause a significant degradation in your mission capability, or it can result in the significant damage to the organizational assets. So we will be discussing all these things one by one with the help of a case study, that how all this thing may affect your system when we are using this particular concept of information security. Right? And the last one is this was your moderate impact, and the last one is your high impact. So high impact is what? That can have different severe effect. Okay, so that is the severe effect that we are having on the organizational operations. Right? Assets or individuals. So the high impact will be having the severe effect on the organizational operation, assets or individual, that we need to fix before moving further. Okay, so low impact type of a security breach can be easily handled. It can be ignored, or we can easily remove that particular. But in case of a moderate impact, these may have some serious type of effect on your system. So you need some methods to be handled, or you need to troubleshoot your system at that required time, so that it should not harm the processing of your system. And the high impact, that you need to be priorly just remove all those type of effect, so that it should not pose any type of a loss to your system or your assets or the individual one. So according to the levels of the impact, we can enhance our security in a particular organization, right? So what we want that if we know that what type of a security issue we are having in a particular organization or a particular information system, at that time, according to its impact, we need to handle all those security, right? So this was accordingly that how we can hand what are the different levels of impact of from security breaches. Next case is that as we have discussed that the security part, so next is the we can have security requirements, examples. So what type of again and again we are using the word security, but what type of a security we are talking about, right? So what we do over here, like you can see, the first one, like we are talking about the term confidentiality. So this is the first term is confidentiality. Okay, so when we talk about this word confidentiality, that means we are talking about something that is need to be confidential. Okay, that is need to be maintained confidential between the two parties. So here we can take the example in the form of the student grades. Okay, so we are evaluating somebody papers and all those. So whatever the student grades we are having, that should be confidential before it is publicly released to the student. Publicly released to the student. So in the confidentiality part, we can consider the example type student grades that we need to be maintained in the confidential way so that it should not be declared poorly, or it should not be declared in a wrong way, or it should not disseminate in the wrong method to the student. So that is the student grades. Second one is the integrity. So in this case of integrity, like what we integrity is something like that you need to maintain, that should be complete in itself. Okay, that you cannot alter anything in between them. It should be complete. It should be, we can say that it should contain all the right values. So here, what example we can go for, that is the patient information. Now, some patient is having some particular type of a test, or it is there are some we need to diagnose for some particular type of a problem. So, what we want that whatever the information that should be available regarding that particular patient should be in the proper integrity way. It should be clear. So, this is like that we are having that integrity is a when we talk about the integrity, you just consider one of the examples that is the patient information. Right? Next thing is that next is the availability. So availability is what? That is we want the right service at the right time. Okay. So that should be that right service should be available at the right time. Plus it should be proper authenticated information. Okay, plus it should be a proper authenticated information so that whatever the information you are getting at that particular time should be correct. So we will consider the example over here, that is the authentication service. Authentication service. So that means whatever the service we are getting, so any type of a services, like we are going to install some box over here, or we are going to receive some particular modem, that should provide us a right service at the right time. So it would be only possible when you are when you are getting that particular box from the authenticated source, authorized source that we say, authorized dealers we have. So that will be the mark of your authentication. That whatever the, like we say that we usually go for the trademarks, we usually go for the brand names, we usually go for the company name. Why so? Because we all these terms are the authentication service. Okay, they all these things are very much authenticated. So that's why we need to maintain the authentication of that particular part, and it will come under to the availability chart, right? Next is the authenticity. Authenticity. So availability is different, authenticity is different. So when we talk about authenticity, so let's go for the example like tickets are there. Okay, so we have admission tickets. So we can easily say that is admission tickets or the token numbers we can say. So all these things are the authentic will prove the authenticity of your particular part. Okay, that means that you are the right person according to this particular code, and you are fully eligible to take part or to be available at that particular position. Okay, so that is your admission tickets, your roll numbers, your registration numbers, your admission numbers that will come under the authenticity. So same thing we have to provide to our information also. So whatever the information that we are having. So why we need to maintain security, so that when we will pass that particular information from one system to another system, that should be maintained in the proper authentic way. Clear? So this is the authenticity of the admission of the capability. Clear? Next part is the non-repetition. So we are having non-repetition is there. So non-repetition is like that you cannot deny. If you are passing some information, if you are giving some particular information, or if you are delivering some particular product to the other end, you cannot deny that this product doesn't belong to you. And even the resource party, the receiver party, can also not deny that this particular product has been received from your side. Okay, so that is a non-repetition, that you cannot have any we can say that any way to just deny that this particular product doesn't belong to your organization. That is a part of a non-repetition. Fine. So we are having like this non-repetition, that is a stop sell order. Stop sell. So what does this stop sell order will do? It will just see that what particular part, that whatever the order that we are selling, we cannot deny afterwards that this order here doesn't belong to our particular organization. Okay, so these are the different security requirements. So first, the main three terms was key terms that we require in security. One is the confidentiality, second is your integrity, and the third one is your availability. Apart from these three terms, we have authenticity also and the non-repetition also. That can also provide that is also required when you're featuring something. Then you require when you require something in your particular information system. Okay, so these are just the examples that I have given. Before starting them in a more detailed way, I just wanted you to understand all these terms, that what we mean by confidentiality, integrity, availability, and the authenticity of the non-repetition. So I hope all these terms are clear to you. And now we will move further. That what are the different computer security challenges? We also need to maintain this part. That what are the different computer security challenges? So we can go, we are doing the next part over here. That is a computer security challenges. So here we need to discuss over here that what are the different computer security challenges we have. Okay. So when we talk about this computer security challenges, so that means what are the different challenges we may face when we need to maintain the security in a particular computer. So we are not what we are protecting in the computer, that are the different information systems. Okay, so that I have already discussed with you, that when we talk about the computer security, that means what we need to protect over here, that is a different information system we have. Okay, so computer security challenges, we can say that this process is not simple as it look like. Okay, because we need to maintain, we have to use so many different methods, techniques to just simplify, to just protect our system from the unauthorized access. Okay, so basically it is not a simple method. We must need to consider potential attack, potential attacks. Okay, we must need to consider the potential attacks. So that is the main challenge, that we are not aware about all those attacks. At the maximum level, we are not aware about all those attacks that could be faced in that particular system. So this is according to the, we can say that experience, according to the implementation of that particular part, we can just go for that potential attacks. But still, there could be some attacks that could be ignored, or that could be, we can say that is not being aware to the user part. Okay, so we must consider the potential attacks over there. And second, third one is the procedure used counter integrity. So we want procedure used counterly. So we are not aware about all those procedures with the help of which a particular system has been developed. So this is also a main feature over there. Okay, so on the counter part, on the implementation part, we are not aware about all those procedures part. So we must define all these terms over there. Okay, so that is a procedure used counterly. That means whatever the procedure that we want, how we can develop all those things, that is being referred with this part. Okay, next is the, it involves so many algorithms. So why it is difficult to implement this security part? Because the computer system contains of so many information system, and an information system can have so many different algorithms. So it can require like that it consists of different algorithms, and there could be lot of secret information. Okay, so that is lot of secret information is there. That is hard. That is very hard to be found out. So that's why this is also one of the main security challenge in our, while we are in, while we need to implement that security. Next thing is that it must decide it must decide where to deploy mechanisms. Where to deploy mechanism. Okay, so it must decide that which mechanism should be deployed at which time. So this is also one of the challenge. So sometimes these decisions are very difficult to maintain, that what type of a decision we need to maintain, that at which particular part we need to deploy that particular mechanism. Right? Next is that it can we can also take, it also requires a regular monitoring. It requires regular monitoring because hackers are always in such a way that they're always wanted to just they are just in a mode to attack your particular system. So if you implement one of the security method, they can use another way to attack your system. Okay, so that way is also one of the challenges, that we require regular monitoring of all the security points. Okay, so these are the different, we can say that computer security challenges are there. So first of all, it is not a simple method. It is a quite complex method because we require so many things in there. We are involving so many hardware, softwares over there that we need to maintain in order to secure a system. Second thing is that it must consider the potential attacks. So according to, we try our best that we have included each and every possible attack. Yeah, but still there is a chance that if we miss something, so it will give chance to the third unauthorized person to attack your system. Okay, so we must try to consider the potential attacks. Third thing is that whatever the procedure used counterly, that means there are so many procedures that are being implemented one by one. Okay, so we need to maintain all those procedures. We just need to find out all those procedures that we are using so that it could help us to just check out that what are the different methods that we are using and how we can protect our system. Next is the algorithm and the secret information. So as you know that information system or the computer system consists of so many different algorithms and the secret information, right? So what we want, so it is quite difficult to find out all those things at once. So this is also one of the security challenge. Fourth one is that we must decide where to deploy which mechanism. This is the main one of the main challenges that we are not aware about that at which particular part which mechanism should be applied. So that it should help us. It should just help us to protect our system from the external. And the last one is the regular monitoring is required because third unauthorized party or the hacker or the attacker is always in a mode to just attack your system. So if you feel like that you have protected your system and now your work is over, that is not done at all. You have to maintain the regular monitoring of the system. Clear? So this was all about that. What are the computer security challenges we are having? So the next thing is that we need to maintain the OS. We will discuss the security architecture over here. So for that we are using OSI security architecture. So that is the OSI security architecture. So what this OSI security architecture means that we are using that one of the this basic architecture over here, that is X.800. So X describe you to any type of version that you can do. Okay, so this is like basically we can say that a version of security architecture for OSI. Architecture for OSI. Right? So OSI is what? That is open system interconnection. Okay, so basically we use this particular mode, that is X.800 security architecture for OSI. Okay, so this is what we need to discuss over here, that is the OSI security architecture. So what it will do, it will just define a systematic it will define a systematic way of defining and providing security and providing security record. Okay. So what we want over here, that why we require this type of architecture, so that it would define the systematic way, a proper standard way by which we can define and provide the security requirements. Okay, so that is we can just provide a way of defining and providing security requirements. Okay, so so it would be quite useful for us to use such type of architecture, standard architecture that we may require in order to define the different security requirements. Now there are three aspects of security over here. So we can, under this particular architecture, what we define, that we have aspects of security. Now, what are the different aspects of the security? So the first thing is that in this we will consider three aspects of information security. Information security. Basically, there are three aspects of information security. So the very first one is the security attack. Second one is your security mechanism, or we can also define like this, control. And the third one is the security service. Security service. So we can define such thing like it defines a systematic way of defining and providing security requirements, right? So basically this OSI security architecture will define the systematic way of defining and providing security requirements. So all the security requirements depends on these three aspects. So all these three aspects are the part of your information security. Okay. So the very first aspect is the security attack. Second one is your security mechanism, and the third one is your security service. Right. So what we that means if we go through all these three terms, it will define us that first of all we must understand that what type of attack we are facing. Okay, so first of all it must define us that what type of attack we are facing. Secondly, we must, according to that particular attack, what is the different mechanism or what particular control method we need to apply on that particular attack. Clear? Third thing is that what are the different security services that we need to provide. Okay, so all these three terms are interrelated with each other, because if we are able to understand that what are the different options we are having, so it must be telling you that the what type of attack you are having, what is the security mechanism you need to follow, that you need to control over there, and what are the different security services you are having. Okay, so these are three particular things on which are this particular architecture will depend on. Okay, so now we will discuss the very first part, that is the security attack. Okay, so first part that we need to discuss over here is the security attack. Okay, so the very first one is the security attack. Now, the security attack, it is being divided into two parts. One is the passive attack, and the another one is the active attack. That is the active attack. Okay, so the first one is the passive attack and the second one is the active attack. So what we mean by passive attack, that means that attempts to learn or make the use of information from the system. But it will passive attack, what it will do? It will just use the information, but it will not affect system resources. Okay. So what passive attack will do, it will just use your information, but it will not affect your system resources. That is the purpose of the passive attack. Okay, so basically what passive attack do, that is, it is just in nature of eavesdropping. We can say that example is eavesdropping is there. It will just take or have a watch on your this particular transmission of the information between the two ends. So it is just a part of your eavesdropping, or it will just we can say that it will just monitor your transmission. Monitor your transmission. Okay, that is a passive attack. So it will just use the information, but it will not affect your system resources. It is not concerned about your system resources. It is not concerned about your algorithm. It will just use your information. And when it will use while you are traveling, while that particular information is being traveled from the sender to the receiver. Clear? Next is your active attack. So what active attack will do, that it will attempt to alter the resources. It will attempt to alter system resources. So it will actively participate on your that particular system resources. So what active attack will does, that it will just attempt to alter the system resources. It will try to provide you that whatever type of alteration it can do. And what is the main funda of that alteration? That it will just see that it just want to mislead you, just to modify your information. So that is the main purpose of that. So it will actively participate on your transmission. It will be actively participating on your transmission part. Okay, so that is attempts to alter system resources. Fine. So it will just alter your system resources and affect their operation also, or affect their operation. Clear? So this is a way that how we can distinguish between passive attack and the active attack. Remember with the term active attack means that will actively participate in your that particular communication by altering your information, by changing your information, by giving any type of information. But in the case of a passive attack, it doesn't alter your system, it doesn't affect your system resources, it will just use your information. That is a part of your passive attack. Okay, so that is your passive. Oh, sorry, that is your passive attack. Okay, so we have some different example of this passive attack. So the very first part, I just write below this passive attack. So the very first one is your interception. Interception. Now interception, what it will do? Let's suppose we are having this sender and this is the receiver part. So it will just read the content of the message. Read the content of message. This is the main funda of this interception. Okay, so interception is what? Here you are having third party. So third party, what it will do? It will just read the content of your message. Okay, that is the interception. So what type of a message that sender is sending to the receiver? This is one of the way of the passive attack that we say as interception. Second method is that is traffic analysis. Traffic analysis. Now, what this traffic analysis will do? It will just watch your traffic pattern. It will watch your just third party. What it will do? Traffic pattern. It will just see that how many content packets you are sending, what is the size of that particular packet, at what time you are sending that particular part. That is a part of your traffic analysis. Okay, so it will just see the it will just observe the traffic pattern, your size, type, nature, and the time at which you are sending that particular packet. Okay, so that is a part of your traffic analysis. Clear? Now we come to the active attack. So if somebody asks you that what are the different ways of passive attack or what are the different types of the passive attack, you must understand that we have interception and the traffic analysis. Interception is simply that it will read the content of your message. Okay, so third party will always always in a such a way that it will just read that particular content of your message. It is not concerned with anything and it will not alter anything on regarding your message, but it will just read your message from the that is being sent from the sender to the receiver. Second method is a traffic analysis that will tell you that whatever the here also third party will detect that whatever the traffic pattern you have done. That means it will define the size, type, okay, the nature of your packets, and basically it will be dealing with the size, type, and the nature that you are of that particular packet that you are sending from sender to receiver. Clear? So this was according to the passive attack. Now we have some types in active attack also. So this topic is quite big, so I must just raise all this content so that it should be more visible to you that what basically we can do in active attack. So you can see that first active attack is the interception. Sorry, interruption. First is the interruption. Okay, so in this particular interruption part, what will happen? Let's suppose you are having sender and here is a receiver. So it will block the delivery of message. It will block the delivery of message. So this is the type of interruption that you are providing in between the two parts. That is your sender and the receiver. Okay, so third party, what third party will does that it will just block the delivery of your particular message. That is a interruption. Okay, this is the first type of active attack. Second is the fabrication. Second method is a fabrication. So what fabrication will do? Here also we are having sender and the receiver. So we will fabricate. It will third party will fabricate your message. Fabricate your message. Okay, so this is the work done by the third party. Now, what we mean by fabrication, that it will just using your message, it will just by its own according to its own intention, it will just change out all those numbers. Okay, so it will with the help of different assumptions, it will just assume so many things, and it can just fabricate your message. Okay, so that is a part of your fabrication. Third type is that is replay. This is a major attack in any type of a active attack. So it will what will do? It will just copy all those messages that is being transferred from sender to receiver. It will just copy all those messages and it can change the complete content of that particular message. Okay, so it can just change the complete content of that particular message and then it can transfer to the receiver. Okay, so this is the replay part. So in this replay part, what will happen? It will just completely copy that particular message and replay to the sender. Okay, so it is just replaying that particular message to the sender. Okay, next thing is that is a modification. Modification is also one of the method by which active attack can participate. So here what will happen? Again, we have sender and the receiver. So it will just modify your message. Not completely, but it may modify some of the content of your data. Okay, so that is a modification. Okay, so fabrication is different and modification is different. So fabrication is such type that you are fabricating something that is fabrication is something that you are just applying by your own end. Okay, that has not been sent by the sender. Sender have no role in that fabricate on transferring such type of a message. You have assumed so many things by yourself and you are fabricating a new message on behalf of you and transferring to the receiver part. But in case of a modification, there is some particular message that is being sent by the sender part. But with somehow a little bit such type of a modification that a receiver will be unable to get that particular message. Okay, so that is the method of this modification. Clear? So replay में what will happen? That replay में what will happen? That the third party will completely copy all your message. Okay, it will completely copy your message. But by just doing any type of a small bit changes. Okay, so it will assume type, but what main target of third party in this replay is that it just wanted that you must that the third party must know what type of a message you are sending. Okay, so on behalf of your sender, it will show just transfer that particular message to the receiver. Clear? So this is accordingly, these are the different types of a attack we are having, and it is quite important. Sometimes in exams, a lot of questions, some questions are being asked that how you can distinguish between active attack or the passive attack. But please also it will also can ask you that what are the different attacks that we are facing during this particular or some type of attack would be given to you and can ask for that what type of a attack it is, active or a passive. So if you are clear with all these terms, then only you can recognize that what type of attack you are facing. Okay, so again I just repeat, that is the active attack. So always remember, active with the active word, that the particular person is actively participating in your communication without being in knowledge of the sender also and the receiver. That third party is an unauthorized party, that nobody has given right to alter our content, but still it is being actively participating in the transmission. Okay, so the first that particular type of active attack is the interruption. So interruption is what? Interruption, what third party will does, that it will just block your transmission path. You won't be able to receive that particular message over there. Sender has sent all those messages, but this particular what it will do, it will just block your message path. Yeah. So this is a interruption. It is interrupting the sender. Second one is a fabrication. Fabrication is what? That it will fabricate any particular message on your behalf. Okay, you haven't sent anything, but it will act as like a true user, and it will to the receiver end, it will feel like that you are the true user or the true sender over here. So it will just fabricate that message. Like we get so many emails, so many false emails we get, that you can share your credit details with our account number with us. So that is a fabricated message. That is not being sent by any authorized person, but you are just a third party is just fabricating your message by getting out. That person is getting one or the another information about yourself on the other side, like your phone number could be with him, your email could be with him. So he is just posing to you, the actual user, that yes, you can share your details with them. But on the true sense, that person is totally false. So that is a definition. What is replay? Replay is that what the third party will does, that it will completely copy all those messages to itself. Okay, and it will see that it can just use that copy message to the another part, or it can repeat to this particular receiver. So sender and receiver are unaware that during this transmission, third party is also being aware about whatever the content they have shared with each other. That is a replay. That's why you will see that so many the social sites, like in some case we get that all this message are totally encrypted at both ends. Okay, so if it is not encrypted, that means it is being used by the third party. So it can just use your particular form in another way and just again resend their particular data. And the last one is a modification. Modification is not like that it is completely fabricating all those matter, but it can add on some points over there or can change your given points. So that can also affect your system. Okay, so this is the main things that we are having in the active attack. I hope all these points are clear to you, because it may help you out in further in just comparing that what type of attack we are facing in the system. Right? So this was all about the attacks part, and secondly, now if you know that how we can handle all those attacks. So passive attack is what? Passive attack are basically easy to stop but are hard to detect. Okay, they can be stopped easily, because passive attack doesn't provide any type of harm on your system. It just monitor your system. So it could be easy to prevent, but it is hard to detect, because we won't be able to understand at which end that loophole is there from which the third party is assessing the system. Whereas in case of an active attack, we give focus on detection and the recovery. We have to detect also the third party, and we have to recover our transmission part also from the because it is actively participating in your transmission part, and it is also modifying your messages. So we need to detect also, and we need to recover also. So it is also hard to stop, but it is easy to detect. Why it is easy? Because we can confirm it afterwards from the receiver part, that whatever the content that I have delivered to you, is it being the right content or not? So it is easy to detect, but it is hard to stop because we don't know that at what particular end that third party will alter your system. Yeah. So this was all about that how we are handling this attacks. Similarly, we have a security service. So for the first portion over there was the security attacks, in which we have discussed active attack and the passive attack. Okay. Now the second part that we need to discuss is the security service. Okay, security services. So this is the security service that we are having. So it will enhance the security of the data processing system. Okay, so it will enhance the security of data processing systems. Okay, so we have some this particular different services we have, like X.800 is there, that is provided by a protocol layer of communicating. So it is being provided by protocol layer. Okay, so this is some protocol layer of communicating open system. Communicating open systems. Okay, so this is one of the services that we can use, that is X.800, and then we have RFC. RFC 2828. Okay, so this is RFC 2828, that is a processing or a communication service provided by a system to give specific kind of a protection. So it will provide you some specific kind of protection. Okay. So these are some of the features we can have in the security services. So like authentication is there, access control is there. So we can discuss it later on, that how we can use this particular type of a security services, right? And secondly, we have that security mechanism also. So I think for today, all this topic are enough for today's lecture. So after that, in the next lecture, we will be discussing the security service and the security mechanism in much detail. Okay. Thank you very much.